whenever, I mean, they shouldn't even have my number. Am I live? Good thing. Hayden, get up in here. Get your ass up in here. Where you going, Cameron? Hello. Boy, I need a haircut. I was even telling my wife I need a haircut like this, man. Get up here in the screen. Show everybody your hair.
This is fine.
I don't know if they can see you. Get in. There you go.
Didn't want to cover you.
Duck down. I don't know if anybody saw your goofy ass head. There you go. Now, Josh, do you remember when I told you, I'm wearing my wedding band again. Let me tell you why I wore it.
You're back married.
I'm back married. This morning we got a showing, and I left the wedding band in there, and I'm like, man, these mofos are going to think we're getting a divorce or something. Going to try to lowball us. I'm like, you know what? I put it on, and it's fitting. I don't think I can get it off, but it's comfortable. What is she saying? I don't know if I'll be able to get it off. That it's very concerning because I work out. If you're on here, like, comment, and share the stream. What are you looking at so dumb right now? You're staring at me. It's really annoying to look over there and see that goofy ass stare you got. Do you remember when I told you pay attention to the stock market? Pay attention to what you're seeing. Do you remember? And I said I want that show on every day. I want CNBC on every single morning. If you're on here, say hello. My wife is on here. Hello. I'll take half, she says. So do you remember when I said turn CNBC on? What do you remember? I doubt you remember, okay? But do you remember anything that I told you?
Yeah, it's a reflection of the market in 6 months.
6 to 9 months. Okay, so back in April, May, whenever we got back in here and we had our tea. When did we get back in here, Van?
Probably
May. The market was a little, I've got it pulled up. Let's just see. How was the S&P 500 looking? Let me find, and P. Okay, it's open. The market's opening up today, okay, because there's some good news that has come out. But let's look in April. Man, it was definitely going down during that time. And the reason why I was concerned was, man, 6 months out, it ain't going to be looking as good for us. Do you remember me telling you guys that? Do you remember? Are you sure? I can't tell if you're bullshitting me or not. But, God, we got a lot of people on here. Wendy Swinney, good morning from the borough. Love the GTT signs I'm saying. Hey, I'm glad you're here. We're going back down there in a couple of weeks, Wendy Swinney. We'll let you know if we want to look at anything. David Speck, what's shaking my man? Amanda, hello, everybody. Thank you for getting on here. But, now we're starting to see the market recovering a little bit. If you look, it's kind of bounced. I mean, it's not always right, but it's usually a good predictor of what's coming. So inflation, I told everybody at breakfast I won the bet where inflation would be today. And I'm doing that, Van, solely based off what Barry Habib has said. And I was right, Remy. Good morning. So 60 seconds of gratitude is how we start every single morning grind. I'm thankful for one thing this morning. I'm thankful that your mentor, this man, is here. I've seen over the last week. Good morning, Tom Gavin. I've seen a focus, an intentional focus back with Hayden. Have you seen it? Here's what I tell her.
No. But I haven't been around.
Okay, well, I've seen it. See, I'm aware. I see everything that's going on. Van, have you noticed Hayden's actually shown up?
Yeah.
Good morning, Zach Raines.
My fault. I'm not aware. Shit.
You're not aware. I mean, that's like if you are an air traffic controller, every plane would crash because you're not aware. That's how you got to think. Like every one of them would run into each other. You got to become more aware. I'm thankful because I called him and I'm like, hey, dude. It's up to you. What do you want to do? I told Drew, see, the problem with Drew is he still has some success by not coming in here. But I can tell you this. You're not as sharp when you're not around people. You're not as sharp whenever you're in here and you're working on things. Somehow Drew keeps selling things, but it concerns me because you get dull. So what are you thankful for today?
I'm thankful for the event that we're going.
We are going to an event this morning. I'm going with you kids. I'm going over there. I ain't staying. I don't know how long I'm going to stay, but I am going over there. How long are you going to stay? Till it's over?
I don't know.
I'd be miserable if it lasts like 4 hours.
The event.
Ricky Carruth is going to be speaking. Carrie Ann Sears brought him over there. He's at the fountains. But Drew says he's always around. Everybody, do you think he's always around? Answer in the comments only. Is Drew always around? Answer in the comments only. All right, Van, how did I label today's show? On with the show, and we'll see if everybody agrees if Drew is always around.
Everyone has their own path.
Everyone has their own path. So yesterday we were in our before me and my wife got married, we said we're going to go to a counselor. We go to a Christian counselor every other Tuesday. Every other Tuesday. We've been doing this. What's wrong, Josh?
It's hot.
We'll put ice cube in it.
My tongue.
So quit distracting me with that goofy looking face. So every other Tuesday we go in there, and what I get a lot out of this. You know, we don't go because we have problems. We go to prevent problems, because usually you have problems in a relationship or marriage. I think a lot of times it comes down to communication or selfishness or things. And I'm a selfish dude, you know. To be honest with me, it's hard for me not to just see it my way. So going in there, we talk about things, but a lot of our conversations are really life lessons. And we were talking about things, and we got on to the topic of this. I believe people are motivated, and I feel like I can talk as much as this dude about this stuff because of what I've gone through. We're motivated by two ways. And I think at the end of the day, that's really as simple as it comes down to. You're either motivated because you're either motivated because of the opportunity that you see and you want to better yourself, you want to fulfill your potential, or you're motivated by the other way. And that's moving in with your mama. That's going through pain. That's hitting rock bottom. That's when you hit something, go through something, experience something so bad you never want to go back there again. Who here can think of a situation where they went through something so bad it changed them? Tell us about it, Baldy.
I moved in with my mama.
You moved in with my mama.
Yes, and I had to pay rent at somewhere else.
Oh, okay. So I remember this one time. This is a little lesson that now Hayden did the work and Hayden made the choice. But Hayden was in a relationship, and they were living together, and they were in an apartment lease together. And they went through their first year. I'm sure it was a delightful year together.
It was great.
It was great. That's why he was smart enough to re-up the lease. 1 to 2 months into this, roughly 2 months into his new lease, he decided he couldn't do it any longer. He gave up. He uncommitted to his commitment. He decommitted from his commitment. And she was actually forcing him out of the apartment, correct? We can talk about this now.
Correct.
I don't know if she watches this stuff anyway, does she?
I think she's forgotten. I hope.
It's probably the best thing that happened to her, too, is getting away from you.
Probably.
The old you. So Hayden had a choice to make. Hayden could, since he was kicked out, he was thinking, and there were people around here that were saying, well, I wouldn't pay any more of that rent. Weren't they?
Yes.
There's
Why
one.
would you?
Why would you? She kicked you out. It's her deal now. Josh, do you remember what you told him? What?
Fuck her. Just don't even do it.
Well, I said, man, you made the agreement. He made the agreement to up 1 more year for his half of that lease. What was your half total?
$800.
Is that everything or just
That
some?
was everything. It was $700 rent, $100 worth of utilities.
So he had to commit to paying $800 a month. And he was thinking about getting out of it. And I'm like, dude, you got to pay that. Because you made the commitment to do it. And you've got to always do what you say you're going to do. And he was getting conflicting reports. He'd go around. But I was proud of him because every month he would go drop that check off. Month, March, April. And it kept going. And it kept going. And it was probably like a debt. It was good to go through that. Because he had to move in with his mom. He had to pay for her part of the place. Probably had guys in and out of. Who knows what was going on over there. But he was paying for it. And I'm sure he was mad a lot, especially when he had to go donate that check. You were probably pissed off. But there were some things going on inside of him that were really growing, because probably one of the first times you've fulfilled responsibilities that you could have backed out of.
Correct.
That was probably a painful thing that does help change you, because going through something that's a day ain't going to matter. Going through something that's a week ain't going to matter. But if you go through something that's a year or 2 years, look at the little Red Riding Hood over here, how much he's gone through. And the longer you can get through this, there's things you're building within you. But most people aren't willing to go through this alone. I don't know if you would have done this if it was just you here.
What do you mean?
I don't know if you would have done this just on your own. If nobody else was here, would you have put yourself through that torture?
Hell.
Why not?
I didn't know what torture was.
You didn't even know. Like, you guys don't even really know what torture is, do they?
No.
You don't get torture. Well, maybe. Does Noah beat you up a little bit? Does he?
Yeah.
Okay. So going through that things, it builds so many muscles on the interior that I can't see, but you can feel. And it takes a little while. So how are you motivated? I wish I could tell you guys just do this. But everybody's got to walk down their own path to experience it. Like, you probably can't tell him things. He's got to go through it. He's got to get his face kicked in. Unfortunately, that is the best way. When I say the best, it's not the most fun, but I think it's the most guaranteed way to learn is to go through pain. It changes things. And it can't be a painful thing that's a short period of time. It needs to be sustained suck. When's the last time you went through something that was terrible for a length of time? Think about who you become, who you became. What did you look like on the other side of it? But most people aren't willing. They're not willing to enter something that's going to do that, because most people want to be comfortable. Why would I want to do all this stuff? You know, most people believe when they start something, it's always going to be a little bit easier than it actually is. That is exactly the wrong way to look at something, because I can almost guarantee you everything that you want on the other side of what you have right now is going to be a lot harder than you think. There's going to be things that happen that are just plain old-fashioned bad luck. Yesterday, y'all got some unlucky news, didn't you?
Very unlucky.
It's just a very unlucky thing. Last year, you had a very unlucky deal, a situation. Do you recall it?
Last year?
Yeah.
Yep.
What happened?
The woman couldn't buy the house.
She could, but the seller didn't extend it.
That, yeah.
Remember? These,
Buy the house because of that reason.
but she could have bought it. She just needed like another week, right? It was just something that was just very unlucky. Well, the longer you're in this business, the more unlucky things will happen to you. But the longer you've been committed and the unlucky things don't happen, you can get through them a lot easier. Like 2 years ago, that may have devastated you, what you went through yesterday. Now you know, now you believe you can overcome it, and you can reproduce. So a lot of, like, when you're brand new and you've got an opportunity, you lose it. It's so hard to get the opportunity. You feel like, man, I'm just not going to be able to do that again. Now, when you lose a deal, you know you can go back and get more deals. Does that make sense? So I would tell all the new people, like, you can see what you need to do to get to the other side. You've got your own path to walk. You're doing it. Hey, a lot of people are already bragging on you around here. They might not come up and tell you, but why would anybody take pride in coming and getting the trash, cleaning the bathrooms, getting me a drink? Hey, packing up all our shit at the house when we move. Who's going to be looking forward to that? Who wants to do those things? Most people never want to learn how to serve somebody. They don't. They want to skip that step. They think they're a leader. But you can't. Good morning, Chris Beverly. You can't be a leader unless you started as a follower and you learned the obedience. You learned how to serve. So if you were never like a follower, that does not mean you're a leader. That means you're lost. Most people have way too much pride to be a servant. But if you can serve others, someday somebody's going to be serving you. Shut us down, Vingretten.